welcome back to my channel. Oh, that sounded really nice. I'm back. It is a new year. I've been so excited to shoot this video. If you did not watch the previous vlog, which you probably should, I think, I did a little bit of like a rundown of like me ending off my year and me going home, but I did actually promise you guys like this sort of like a reflecting on the new year type of video, but I decided to also make it sort of like a guide into the new year. If you want to take it that way, it can be sort of like a guide into the new year. I'm 26 and I'm turning 27, meaning that I'm officially chasing 30. Oh my god. I'm someone who does believe that age comes with wisdom. Obviously, it depends on who you are and the type of life you want to lead. So why not share a few tips? Because guys, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Hey, 2022 was quite a year. But let's not waste any time. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are interested in watching this video, comment down below whatever you want to share. I would love that as well. And let's get right into this video. Okay, I do want to start this up by sort of like reflecting on the year. I'm gonna do this briefly because some of the pointers that I'm gonna talk about when it comes to getting into the new year, preparing yourself for the best things to come, stepping into your power, becoming the best version of yourself, has a lot to do with the year that I had last year. Like, I feel like I'll be referencing a lot of last year with each point. So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about reflecting on the year, but what I can say, I honestly do believe, guys, I'm such an emotional person. This video just started and my voice is starting to crack, but I'm gonna keep it together. I honestly believe that 2022 was probably the best year I've had in my life. I know I used to think that 2018 was the best year that I've had, only because then it was when I started being independent. I had my first corporate job in 2018. I had just graduated and I passed all my subjects and courses and whatever. And then I started working. I moved into the apartment that was a dream, right in front of the beach, even though I was sharing, but like it was a life that I knew I wanted for myself, and God put me exactly there. So I used to always be like, 2018 was the best year of my life. Even financially, I was confident in myself around the time I started building myself in terms of my interests, like Instagram, my interest in makeup and beauty and stuff like that also became a thing in 2018. So I used to always say 2018 was the best year of my life. But I think stepping into 2022 was like, I don't know, a miracle. Was literally a year where I came in with just, I can say, a belief, an expectation, and just a positive perspective. I wasn't really fully where I am now, but I went into the year optimistic. And the way that things changed in an instant, the way my life became what I wanted within like the space of a month was absolutely shocking for me. I think the transition of where I was then, like for the past 2 years, like after COVID, being a mom and stuff like that, to where I was from literally March in 2022 was just like so much of a blessing that at some point it became like overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, it did become a little bit overwhelming. But yeah, 2022 for me was the best year of my life. I learned a lot about practicing gratitude. I don't know if I've shared this ever on the channel, but I remember I got a DM from a girl who said that she did like tarot readings and she would like to read my, I don't know what to call it, guys, but tarot readings most. They wanted to read my aura or whatever thing that they got from me. And we had a session, like we had I think the girl was in LA or something, and we had a session and some of the things that she mentioned there, and I knew about this. I knew the importance of gratitude, but when someone was saying that to me, and they taught me the lesson of practicing gratitude every single day, I started applying that last year. I started being someone who will thank God for the bread that I have. I will thank God for load shedding. Not thanking God for load shedding, but like when power comes back, I say thank you, God. When there's rain outside, I say thank you, God. When something good happens, or I've been pulled out of a bad situation, I say thank you, God. When money comes into my account, I say thank you, God. So last year, I really started getting into the space where I'm constantly grateful for God's grace each and every day, to the point where I would tweet almost every day, thank you, Lord, for your amazing grace, because in every waking day, I looked around me and I was like, this is all God's grace, and I'm grateful for it. So that's one of the things that, I don't know, brought a light in my life, that gave me a new breath of fresh air. And another thing that I can say I did, which I'm also going to talk about in the pointers that I have, is I think I kind of found my true identity. And this obviously will differ from person to person, and obviously depending on our spiritual journeys. But I think last year literally put me in a position to return back to God. And it was crazy because it wasn't even like my life was bad, or like there were bad things happening to me. There were a lot of good things happening to me, but I was probably put in the most position to find myself in the identity of God again. I've always known that I'm a spiritual person. I have a personal relationship with God. But I think because, growing up, a lot of things happen. You sort of kind of make God a part of your life and not so much your life. Do you get what I mean? So I had gotten to that type of conditioning where I didn't have to really be a openly in love person with God, where I had to be intentional when it comes to my relationship with God. But I think last year really put me in a position where I had to understand that every single thing that's happening in my life is because of God. Everything that I need will come from God. Everything that I am is because of God. So, and like I said, I'm going to talk more about this and how that broke down in the little pointers of how we can all step into this new, better space. So I really feel like I found exactly who I am. And it's not to say that I'm not going to be this God person. Well, I am a God person, don't get it twisted. But me, the person that I like being, the person that I want to be, because I think I spent a lot of time in my life where I was like, if you're nice, people treat you bad. If you're mean, I don't really like being mean, because of so many opinions that were circulating. But when I got to 2022, especially like towards the end, I started being like, nah, I want to be this type of person, and that's it. I'm just gonna be that person. Another thing I learned was what I wanted and what I needed and what I absolutely should let go of. I think last year really taught me about that. And I think in order for you to do that is that you need to step into your power. You need to have the vision and the version of yourself that you want to be. That way you eliminate the riffraff, guys. I want to get into these points now, but most of everything that I'm going to be talking about is an umbrella of these things that I discovered of myself last year. But I also want to make like a disclaimer. This is not to say that I have clocked anything, or I've clocked life, or I've clocked myself, or blah blah blah. But some of these pointers are not just to share with you guys, but also a journey that I'm going to be putting myself on this year. I'm going to be stamping on all the things I've learned last year and bringing them into this year, because I know that following through with these will bring me into an even better space. I'm going to be in the most successful environment that I've ever been in. I'm going to break into opportunities. I'm going to be confident about what I want and who I can become. Nothing is really luck, guys, in my opinion. Nothing happens by chance. For me, nothing is a coincidence. I believe in God. I love God. I know that He exists over my life. So following through with everything that I'm going to speak about in this video, I know I'm gonna succeed. I know I'm gonna have the best year of my life. One thing I kept thinking when the clock said 2023, I was like, this is the year I've been praying for. This year is gonna be the year that I have been praying for. I'm confident in that. I want to be confident in that. But yeah, let me talk to you guys about a few things that I think and believe. Let me say I believe. Yeah, a few things that I believe will help you contribute to becoming will contribute to helping you become the best version of yourself, you stepping into your power, you becoming the more self-aware version of yourself. Guys, I used to watch videos of people who are self-aware, and I would be like, how do you do that? How do you get to that place? So I want to share pointers that helps me learn more about myself and being better, and how you can, I don't want to say manifest, because manifest seems like such a float in the air type of thing, and I don't think life works like that. I don't just manifest things. I do believe that there's a God who puts things and places things the way that he knows I need for them to happen. Like I know I want a good life, and I know it because that's the vision that God gave to me. I did not just wake up and just decide I want to be in a certain way or want to be a certain person. I know it because God has given me that vision of myself just from the beginning. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna give you these pointers. I am reading for my little journal over here, so I'm gonna be looking down from time to time, but don't worry about it. The first step is, of course, what I've mentioned about, that I have put myself in the journey last year, is finding your true self. Now, this again will differ from person to person, but how do you find your true self? I am going to speak from a spiritual context because that is how I live my life. And I can honestly say, I implore you to do the same. I want to say I'm not trying to be politically correct in this video, because it does no service to me, okay? So everything in this video, take what makes sense to you and what is necessary for you. Not every pointer is gonna make sense to you, and that is okay. I don't mind. I have things to learn, so comment down below if you want to rectify or bring insight into anything that I mentioned. But yeah, stepping into your true self in my context, in the spiritual context, honestly, is finding God. I think I've always known from a young age that I had some type of deep connection with God. I did grow up in a Christian family, and I can definitely thank my parents for that. It contributed a lot to having a relationship with God. But I know that from a young age, it wasn't like a bypass thing. I wanted to pursue God. So with everything that has happened in my life and growing up in high school and blah, 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 I remember sometimes having this feeling of shame, or needing to hide that part of myself, or needing to step away, or not to be too abrasive. Guys, if you guys know me from back in the day, not a lot of people might know, but I think my friends from high school might remember this chapter of my life where I was literally an evangelist. Like, I was part of the people who would go into the streets and preach or pray to people. I was in those type of groups. So that came naturally to me. And I think because of growing up and so many influences, I kind of shied away to being that person. And also the heartbreak, the church heartbreak, okay? There is a certain stage in your life where you will meet a church or go to a church, and they will break your heart and sway you the wrong way, or take advantage of your hunger for God. I've experienced that, and that has also contributed to me sort of like backtracking. But last year, like I said, God put me in a space where I needed to find my true identity. And I knew that my true identity was in God. I knew that I wanted to be a nice person. I know that I want to be a nice person. I know that I want to be a thoughtful person. I know that I want to be empathetic. I want to help people. And the internet and the world is telling us to be selfish and savage and blah, blah, blah. But my true identity is not that. I don't enjoy being that person. There are some things that I do or used to do that I knew I did not even enjoy. But I did them because everyone was doing them. I did them because that is what is politically acceptable, because that is what society says we should do. I sort of like silenced or put a side of myself away to fit into the narrative that works. Look for things that align with what you think or believe that you are in the deepest part of yourself. Because you know, you were out with people and we try and pretend to be something else, but you know your true self, and you need to find that girl, pull her out of the mess and own it. Just own it. So I know a lot of people are always like, oh, you know, the people who are most wicked are the people who talk about God or put Bible quotes. Those are the, you know, wicked people. Like, people try to make it uncool to be a God-driven person or someone who loves God or someone who's spiritual. Don't worry about that. It's nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. You could be the person that makes it cool to be a person who loves God. Own it. Like, just live in it. Just, yeah, put your Bible verses. There are people like me who want that. There are people like me who religiously follow that type of content. So just find yourself and own it. It's not gonna happen today. It's a journey, and it's not gonna be easy. But allow yourself to be in that space. Second one is train your mind, bro. If I knew the power of the mind 2-3 years ago, I would be the most successful person ever. And I believe this with everything in me. Training your mind is the beginning of your breakthrough. It is the beginning of doors opening. It is the beginning of your confident state. Training your mind, guys, means being actively aware of yourself, of your surroundings, being aware that life is not punishment, okay? Because a lot of us live in our heads, and in your head is so negative. Your head is full of so much self-doubt. Your head is full of so much hatred, misery, bitterness. You are beating yourself up about the things you've done in 3 years. Like 3 years ago, you are beating yourself about something that you did 3 years ago. You do not see the present. You need to train your mind, guys. You need to train your mind to be present. Train your mind to be positive. Train your mind to be intentional. Guys, it is so easy to be negative. It is so easy to complain. It is so easy to be shy. It is so easy to be anxious. It comes, for a lot of us, it comes so naturally to think little of yourself. You think that, oh, if I made more money, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to believe in myself. Oh, if I looked a certain way, if I lost some weight, I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to be powerful. Oh, if I made these type of friends, or if I would dress like this, or if I spoke like this. Guys, your mind is the source. Your mind is what's standing in between who you believe you can become. Guys, the day you start doing the work, and it's not going to happen in a day. It is hard to step out of being a self-deprecating, self-destructive, self-sabotaging person. It is hard to wake up and say, I am beautiful. I love myself. It is hard to say you are lying when your mind starts saying, oh, you're depressed, you're weak, you could never do that, you could never be that person, you're not them. It is hard to unlearn that behavior, guys. But the reason why I'm using the word train, is because gymming. Every day you have to do some biceps or sit-ups or whatever. The brain is a literal muscle. Do you understand that? The brain is a literal muscle. And you need to train that girl. You need to put that girl in the gym. You need to make sure that every day you are intentional about being positive. You are intentional about being optimistic. You are intentional about believing in yourself. You are intentional about being delusional. Boom. Boom. One of the most successful Some of the most successful people in this world are people who were delusional. That's why we have Kanye West. If you watch the Kanye West documentary, he believed in himself before he even had anything. I watched a documentary the other day of this yoga guru of some year, and how he started becoming that was literally out of nothing. He made it up. He made it up and believed that I'm going to be the best. If you must, be delusional. Be delusional. Think of yourself as already the person you want to become. Wake up and say, I'm that girl. There's a reason why, guys, the people we look up to are so self-sufficient. Like, girl, why Angie? Why Angie? It's because they make it an activity to believe in themselves. And you need to do that. No one is gonna, guys, you're not gonna, you can have things and people that can help you get there, but the most validation that you need is from yourself. You can have a partner that loves you and tells you you're perfect just the way that you are, but if you don't feel it, it's not gonna happen. Train your mind. Work on that girl every day. Every day. Because, guys, and I'm gonna say this once again from a spiritual context, the devil is coming after the mind. That's what the devil is making sure that he targets in this age. If you haven't noticed, a lot of young people are depressed. A lot of young people are suicidal. I go on TikTok, a lot of people are fighting the mental battle. The devil is not, he is the one reminding you that, oh, you did something bad 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Oh, you don't have a good relationship with your parents. Oh, you look a certain way. It is the devil that is reminding you of your mistakes, of your faults, of what you have not gotten yet or what you have not accomplished yet. It is the devil, Dana. So you need to train that girl. You need to train that brain. You need to work on her every day. Don't rest. Train your mind, because your mind is what will unlock a world that you never expected. When you start believing in things before they happen, the power of belief. And you know what, guys? It's crazy because I feel like generally as people, there are degrees in how our mind works. The way that and the next person has unlocked parts of themselves because of how they use their brain differs from each person. So you need to catch up. You need to catch up to the people that you're looking up to and realize that they believe in themselves. They believe in the life that they're building for themselves. They are positive every day. They believe they can accomplish things. That's how they think. They walk into the room and they say, I'm necessary. You need to stop thinking that you're insignificant. But we're going to get into that because that's my next point. My next point is become the main character. I want to drop the mic on this one because I always tell people, I think not always, but a lot of people from last year or whatever that I've been encountering, even my brother, my family, I've been telling them, guys, that you need to become a main character. It's like something clicked in my head last year that, damn, this is my story. You need to think yourself, guys, as the main character, and this is your story. Your life is like a movie. And the thing about that, the power in that is that you can always look back into your story and how it started, and you will understand that you are building a journey of success. Okay, remember in one of my other videos I said life's purpose is progression. That is how you think when you become a main character. Now don't get me wrong, becoming a main character doesn't mean that you have this complex that it's all about you and the world is revolving around you. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to say the story of your life. Everything is a piece of the movie. All the puzzles are coming together for you. The Bible says all good things work together for the good of those who love God. And this is something that my dad has taught us. Everyone who knows my dad knows that he always tells us this verse. Probably is his favorite verse, I don't know. But all things really do come together for the good of those who love God. When I look back at my life, I'm not talking about last year or when I was home, pregnant or whatever, or when I was broke or whatever. I'm talking about when I was a kid, when I was young, okay? When I was 5, 12, in high school, varsity, I started looking at everything and being like, it has all led me to where I am now. My life is not perfect, guys. There are so many things I need to accomplish, but I know that where I started, God's track record. Looking back at God's track record means that when you look to tomorrow or the next month or 5 years or next year, you walk with a sense of peace, because you know that this is a story that God has already written and He is going to see you through. You are going to have a happy ending. That is the best thing I've done for myself. I'm not perfect. In this story, I'm working on myself. In this chapter of my life, it is where I'm stepping into the best version of myself. It is where we're going to have the victory lap. Like, honestly, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself, because it also aligns with you finding your true identity. It also aligns with you believing in yourself. But once you start seeing yourself as an important, necessary person, you need to stop thinking of yourself as insignificant. I can tell you guys, for most of my life, I've been someone who, I guess, is okay with being in the background. I remember my interview of my first job back in it wasn't my first job, but it was my first corporate job where I was like in an office, and I also worked as a clerk back in 2014. But it was my first real job where I was paying my own bills and blah, blah, blah. They asked me, am I a leader or a follower? Now, in hindsight, it might have not been the best answer, but it was the best thing I did to finesse the interview. But they asked me that, and I was like, put me in the back. I was like, put me in the back. I will lead from the back. And I said this obviously with like a certain confidence in me, because my whole point was like, put me in the background and I will influence and I will change the narrative, and I will put pieces together while I don't even have the badge. That was my response to that. But that was also saying a lot about me and how I thought in that space. But I'm going to bring it together. But I've always been someone who said, put me at the back. Like, I'm okay with being at the back. Like, even the smallest things, I'm only now realizing I used to be someone who's okay with not like dressing. I've always liked to dress up and look pretty, but I've always been okay with not being the prettiest. I never strived to get the most attention. I don't know, like, I would be okay with going out, being the one with no makeup on and letting everyone else shine or whatever, because I just felt like my spotlight will find me. And thank God, it always did. It always did. Like, I don't care if I'm looking basic or feeling basic, but whatever that I attract in that moment, it would find me. It would find me. Because also that has a lot to do with God's kindness, that sometimes we don't pursue things, but God is kind enough to give us things as a reminder of who we are ordained to be. Because even in that space in my life where I was like, I am okay being basic. I am not the star of the show. I'm okay with being in the background. The spotlight still found me. Like, good things happened to me that didn't necessarily happen for other people. I discovered myself in ways that other people didn't. I was blessed in ways that other people weren't. And obviously, I didn't have it all, but even in the times where I felt like, oh, I wasn't good enough, it still happened. And again, God's grace. God's grace. But there are so many opportunities that I missed out on because I was scared to speak up. I felt unworthy. I felt inadequate. I felt like I had nothing to contribute. I felt like, oh, if I ask this, someone else probably gonna ask it anyway. Or if I thought this, it's not a new thing. Everyone else is thinking that. But you're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on your necessary position, guys. If you think you're insignificant, you're wasting your own time. Everyone has a role to play in this life. You need to find your own. That's why I love an underdog. I love someone who starts from the bottom and makes it up. I like someone who comes from literally nothing and they build themselves and they live these lavish lives. Because I think I can relate to that. Then someone who comes from privilege and things just look like, they're floating for them. No, I think I definitely lean towards people who build themselves from nothing, who changes their lives and their families' lives. I like that. I like consuming that type of content, if I can say. But even those people, their lives are a story. And one thing you need to do though is not compare your story to someone else's. Okay? Because it's not gonna happen like that. Mihlali N, for example, has her own story. K-Yams has their own story. Beyonce has her own story. Oprah Winfrey has her own story. Michelle Obama. Everyone that we look up to, everyone that you think they're there, had a story where they built themselves up or things happen in their life that put them where they are now. Do you get what I mean? And the thing is that if you focus on someone else's story, that's why you are mad about not being successful at the age of 22 like everyone else or like someone else. That's why you are comparing your life to someone else's. You don't even know what's gonna happen. You don't even know what's gonna happen. Neither did they. That's the thing. They might have believed that they want to get there someday, but they never knew how it was going to unfold. So let your story happen. Let your story flow, but just always trust and believe that it's happening for you, not to you. Life is happening for you. It's all coming together in a good way. And the best thing I did for myself last year is getting to a point where I understand why it had to happen the way that it did. I understand why I had to wait. I saw a post on Instagram where someone was like, I hope when your time comes, you will understand why you had to wait. And I think that's the stage where I'm in right now, because I'm starting to see my life as a blossoming, unfolding story. And I'm grateful that it makes sense to me now. So that when I come across an obstacle or a trial or a difficult time, I'll just be like, oh, God is doing a new thing. God is doing something new. God is stretching me out. God is expanding my abilities. God is bringing out more strength in me. God is enhancing me, teaching me lessons that I did not have before, which is why we are here now. Or I know that it's a battle that I need to wake up in spirit, because the devil is trying to attack me or he's trying me and stuff like that. But you need to start seeing yourself as a main character in this story and have people who see you in that light. I don't know, not to say too much about this, but like, I'm also thankful to have a partner who sees me in a way that I don't see myself. Like someone who literally say to me, "Bah, you don't even know how lit you are. You don't even know how beautiful or how amazing you are, how intelligent that you are. You don't even see it." And the fact that that exists is because you haven't tapped into it. So yeah. The next one is, and this one is so important, you guys. I don't want this video to be long, but I can't help it because I want everything to be clear, The next point is, stop being afraid of being embarrassed, or stop being afraid of the feeling of embarrassment, or stop thinking things are embarrassing. Just remove that word from your vocabulary. I'm not saying now run around naked and do stupid things that don't matter because you think embarrassing is not a real thing. But a lot of us are holding ourselves back because we're scared of being embarrassing. We're scared of looking stupid. We're scared of putting things out there, and then if they don't happen that way, it's like the world is laughing at us. One thing I can tell you, sis, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because a lot of people are focusing on themselves. A lot of people are focusing on themselves. And you are sitting there and you're telling yourself, Oh, it's embarrassing that I set myself on a weight loss goal last year and here I am trying again. That's embarrassing, right? That's what the world deems embarrassing. It is embarrassing that you put out a relationship that you were so confident and happy in, and you put it out like, I'm so in love, I'm so happy, and then that person betrayed you, and now here you are, you're single, and you gotta start over again. You think it's so embarrassing that you are waking up every day and you are putting on your ring light and you're creating content. You don't have brand deals. No, you don't have a lot of followers. You don't have 50K followers or whatever. You just think it's embarrassing that you're there, trying to create content, and it seems like no one even cares. So you're just so embarrassed. So you're just like, let me not even start the YouTube channel because I don't want to embarrass myself. No one is checking out for me. It's embarrassing. That's what's holding me back. Your fear of embarrassment. This is why I like platforms like TikTok, even though I'm not like big on TikTok, but I enjoy TikTok because people on TikTok don't care about being embarrassed. They don't care about not having fancy lights and being luxurious and blah, blah, blah. They're just creating it because they love it. Stop being afraid of being embarrassed. You don't even know what's going to happen on the other side. You don't even know what's going to meet you when you start a new weight loss journey. You don't know what you're going to discover about yourself. You don't know what chains of lacking self-discipline are going to open. You don't know if you're going to become the best, fittest version of yourself. Because if you're saying, I'm so embarrassed, I don't want to start again, what's going to happen? Because you're going to be stuck in the same place. Miserable. You don't want to leave or start dating a new person and putting that new happiness out there because you were embarrassed in the previous one. You don't even know what's going to happen. You'd rather stay in this toxic situation because you don't want to let go because people are going to say, hey boy, you were in love. When's again done? You don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. You don't know if that person, the next person, is exactly what you need in your life. It's exactly the partner that is ideally made for you. You don't even know. You don't know that your next video, even though you had 15 likes in the previous video, your next video is going to go viral. And next thing you're on TV, you are, who's this? Either Bani, DJ. What is this girl's name? The DJ. Uncle Waffles. Or Elsa. You don't know. You don't know because you think you're going to be so embarrassing. You don't want to put out your new single because you think it's going to be embarrassing. Stop it. Firstly, people don't care. And you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. That boldness and that push is what you need that's going to set you out in the end. Even if people laugh, guys, let it. Because even the people we admire, and I'll always say this, because we like to think, when you don't see who you really are or what you're capable of becoming, you're always looking at the other end. You're always looking at other people and comparing yourself to them. But even those people started somewhere. Can you imagine? I love it when YouTubers do videos, like their first videos where they had shanky lighting and they didn't have the best equipment because they put themselves out there. Even when they had little. And look at them now. So stop being scared of being embarrassing. We don't care. And you don't know how we're going to fall in love with you. So stop that. Stop comparing yourself. Stop worrying about what you don't have now. Do it. The next point is being intentional. I've done a video about this a few years ago where I spoke about being intentional, and I think I touched on a little bit of my own fears and how I was afraid to claim, some things about my life and myself because I felt like, what if I disappoint myself, or what if I don't do things or I accomplish things? But I want to speak more about being intentional of who you want to become. And being intentional has a lot to do with what you consume. What you consume is very much easily influencing what you are. So you need to be intentional about wanting, if you want to become, guys, sabukeyams or those aesthetics girl, honey, get up, light the candles, iron those sheets, be intentional. If you want to get closer to God, why are you playing about like some riffraff on YouTube? Find like-minded people. Be intentional about what you need to survive this life. Be intentional about the person that you want to become. You have to, the thing about being intentional for me is like an umbrella word for put in the work. Put in the work. If you want to be healthier and fit and stuff laugh this year, you know what you need to do. And you know why you didn't make it last year. This mistake that I think we've made in our earlier stages or our younger stages, where we sort of like labeled certain people for certain things. I'm going to make an example. Like in high school, we always had the smart kids, right? And I know this because in our friendship group back in high school, there was one of us who was like smart, like maths, accounting, like, you know, if she wasn't in the top 5, she was in the top 10. And I think, let me speak for myself, because I don't want to say we all looked at her and was like, she's the smartest of the group. But like, I used to be like, she's the smartest of the group. She's getting good grades. And that's how I saw everyone else who was getting good grades, top 5, getting awards. I was like, these people are smart. I have no business wanting to be a top 5 win whatever. I'm not smart. I have no business wanting to accomplish the science fair, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like them. I'm not smart. I'm not a maths person. I'm not a numbers person. You branded yourself inadequate, because in as much as you're happy for that person and how great that they are, but you're also saying you could never be me. And the thing about that is, in your honest self, in your true honest self, because even back then in high school, right, our friend, the smart friend, shout out to you if you know who you are, we would do like these little group study sessions. And I can honestly say to you guys, and I'm speaking for myself, I did not study as much as she did. Even when we were studying together, I wasn't as present as she was. Because I believe now in hindsight that I wasn't even working as hard as her or anybody else who was receiving awards and stuff like that. I did not apply myself. So how do I even know if I'm smart or not? If you can honestly comment down below in this video and say, Anita, Mna, I was working out every day. I was eating healthy every day. Maybe not every day, but like you stuck to a goal. You stuck to your calorie deficit. You did not abuse alcohol or overdrink when you didn't have to. You did not waste time lazing around or not putting in the work at the gym. You did not, if you can say that you gave it your all last year and you got nothing from it, I can tell you now. You can tell me now, and that's one thing, but because half of the time, you know when you're not giving it your all. You know that. So stop saying that, oh, it's because they're smart, or oh, it's because they're pretty, or oh, it's because they know more, or because they're naturally fit or naturally built, or they have a better metabolism. It just means that you might need to work harder. You might need to work harder. But it is all in you. It is literally all in you. All you need to do is have intent. Have the intent. Chase it until you find it. Want it more than anyone else, even. Because I can imagine if I, for an inkling in high school, was part of the top 5, just once, I would never want to let go of it. I would fight for it every single time. I would compete for that spot every single time. But because I had already put myself in the back burner, or I had already knocked myself out of the game and was like, this is reserved for certain kind of people with a certain kind of brain, I never really found myself or my full potential in high school. And I guess I'll never go back to high school now. But that's why when you grow up now in the real world, you start looking around you and start saying, hey, why not me? Have that attitude. I can do this. If someone else did, God can do it again with me. I have what it takes. Or I can have what it takes because I'm going to apply myself. I'm saying all of this to say that intention is all in your hands. You need to be intentional about what you consume, the time you put into the things that you want. You need to be hungry. You need to be bold. You need to take risks for all of it to come together. So that's my point on that. My next point is self-preserve. This is probably going to be a little bit controversial, but self-preservation will help you save yourself from a lot. Self-preservation will help you save yourself from a lot. Self-preservation will help you figure out what it is that you want and what you need and what you absolutely should not be having in your life. I spent parts of last year feeling bad that I wasn't social enough, that I wasn't putting myself out there enough. But now I know why. I know why it is necessary. I know why I needed to isolate in some instances. This is not to say I'm not going to now start learning to be social and stuff like that. But you need to preserve yourself, guys, from things that you know don't even feel good to you. Let me put this in a relationship context. And I think I've been saying this in bits and bits. But to all my ladies out there, you don't need to entertain all of these boys. Okay? Most of them want to empty you. Okay? It is not about you being a pretty princess or an innocent, sweet little girl waiting for the right guy, or you need to be a good girl. It's not about that. You need to save yourself from men, because a lot of them have nothing to contribute but to conquer you. They want to use you up. Ne? In as much as we can be politically correct and say, oh, we need to be sexually liberated, do what you gotta do, be out there, blah, blah, blah. But trust me, that overexposure, that hypersexualization, that easily accessible is just gonna eat you up. And I'm gonna talk about the inside. Because I'm not even talking about men touching on you or being intimate with you. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about in your soul, in your heart. In your heart. Because a lot of guys have nothing to bring to you but pain, trauma, diseases, unwanted pregnancies, financial frustration, emotional manipulation, and abuse. You need to pause. You need to take a step. It is not a compliment for men finding you desirable or sexy or in your DMs. It is not a compliment. Do not feed off of that attraction. It has no substance. Most of it has no substance. And I'm even talking about the guys who are going to pull up talking about, let's go to Malaysia. I get those type of DMs, guys. DMs like, let's go to Malaysia. Can you pull up to Dubai? Can I take you shopping? I got 50K for you. I've got da-da-da. Now, obviously, depending on the person that you are and what you want to be and just what matters to you and what doesn't. But even those people that are bringing soft life have no substance. A man buying you things does not mean he loves you. Hello? Can somebody say amen? Can someone say amen? A man buying you designer does not mean that he loves you. Does he care about you? Does he think about you as much as you think about him? Does he worry about your well-being? Is he honest with you? You need to self-preserve. You need to stop putting yourself in spaces that you know are toxic, in relationships that you know are toxic, in friendships that you know are toxic. You need to stop. If going out doesn't feel nice to you, why are you doing it? If drinking doesn't feel nice to you, to an extent where you feel horrible and you're regretful and blah, 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 why are you doing it? And this is also to myself, guys. Like I said, Yongele video is talking to me and talking to you. Take from it what you find necessary for yourself. But you need to self-preserve, guys. We are in this life where we are growing old and you need to keep yourself, I don't want to say clean, but don't pile up trauma for no reason. We are still recovering from the childhood trauma. Don't pile up unnecessary boys, unnecessary friendships that try to hurt you. Don't go to spaces that are going to traumatize you and you're going to be left stranded and blah, blah, blah. And all of these dark things. Don't do that. It's okay to sit at home. It's okay to be single. It is okay to say no to things because they don't feel nice to you. You don't have to, baby. You don't have to. So self-preservation is something that I learned a lot last year. Because I started realizing most of the niggas out here ain't nothing. And guess what? I'm not the animal manins, guys. I'm not the animal manins. And I kupa into depending on what you want. If you want to secure the bag and have a good time, blah blah blah, by all means, enjoy. But if you are sitting there and you are lying to yourself, trying to condition yourself that, okay, you know what? I'm tired of these men breaking my heart. I'm going to go out there being a savage. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to eat their money up. And until one of them comes and saves me and he's good to me, then eventually I'll drop everyone. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to happen about that. It also has to do with intent. If you want a stable relationship, it's not going to be about being sexy or attractive or popular and stuff like that. If you want something genuine, you have to be a genuine person. Because you pretending to be a savage is only just sending the worst idea. If you are on Instagram and you're pretending to be a savage, but you know deep down inside of you, you want to get roses and you want a loyal relationship that is stable, that is full of love and kindness and stability. You need to be that type of person. You need to self-preserve. You need to be single if you must. Don't fake it. Guys, you know when you the savage thing is cool and it's funny, but the savage thing is also sending out a message to men, horrible men who are saying, let me challenge you, baby girl. You want to juggle the boys? You want to be in the field? Let's go. And half of the time, you can't take it like that. We can't take it like them. And that's the honest truth. And guys, in my opinion, my honest opinion, whether I'm in a relationship or not right now, which I am, but if I wasn't, I've come to realize that men are draining. Men are horrible people. Men are horrible people and they will drain you. And I don't know, guys. The streets for me are so scary. Are so scary. I don't want that for myself. That's why even if I was single, I would rather stay single and manifest and prepare myself for the wholesome relationship that I want to have. Because I'm not gonna let these niggas, these boys filling up on me, touching me, wasting my time. Oh no. You need to be stingy about yourself, about your mind, about your space. You need to be stingy. Guys, and you husband, my mom used to always be like, so puma, so kapaga. vele uthi xa uphuma kuthiwe wow, there she is. And these are things we don't understand back then until ukhule, and you realize that uxhaphaga is not really cute. It's not. That's why you have the people who've been out there overexposed, hypersexualized, are reeling it in now. Reeling it in. Rebranding. Xhaphaga. Self-preserve, my babies. Okay? Okay, guys. I hope that these points really made sense to you guys. I hope these points really made sense to you guys. The video is a bit long, but I hope that you guys do watch it. Let's unpack in the comment section. I really do want to do more sit-down videos where I talk about real things and my real opinion about things. I think I have been doing this a little bit on like TikTok, just my opinion on like real issues and how to navigate your life as a better person, as a, I don't want to use this word that everyone has been using. What is it? High value woman. But in essence, yes, you know, I do feel like we should be having more conversations about this stuff. But I also don't think it should be necessarily in a, you know, romantic or relationship context. I think feed your soul things that matter. Feed your body things that matter. Feed your heart and your spirit things that matter. And that will blossom into a high value person. It's not just about money, guys. Amen. But nourish yourself so that when you do get that money, there's a purity in that. There's a glory in that stage. Because you made it authentically and you built yourself from whatever challenge that comes when you're on the top. You are equipped. So that's all I'm gonna say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, yeah, if you guys are interested in having these type of conversations. I'm also even thinking of bringing people and just bouncing off ideas and concepts, and just like our view and opinions on things. Just not just me, but to just have people who might be like-minded or people who do want to be controversial and, you know, just teach each other about life and how to think and how to be as people who are trying to figure out their lives and become better people and have money and have blessings and have intelligence and wisdom and be healthy and be fit and be better, like in general. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to the year that we have been praying for. I wish you guys so many blessings, and I pray over you guys, and I hope that God's mercy and his grace covers you throughout this year. Let's make it to 2024. Let's be filled with love and compassion and kindness. And yeah, man, I love you guys so much. Let's go into the new year. It's about to be bigger and better, baby. Big things only 2023.
Something I can't feel. I just wanna